Welcome to the third episode of our digital learning update. In today's update, we will be looking at how Islamic worldview can be integrated in mainstream lessons. Next, some tips on how Google Classroom can be used in our classes. And lastly, our primary school students share their views on digital content creation. Assalamualaikum everyone. Welcome to another edition of our digital learning update. This is week 5 and we are almost halfway through the term. In our digital learning updates thus far, we have been focusing on two key areas, namely digital content creation and our online learning platforms. The benefits of creating digital content as part of our lesson delivery is well known. Leading schools around the world are moving into hybrid or the blended learning approach. At Al Sirat College, we began our journey in 2020, and this year we are looking at consolidating our efforts in creating digital content. This is why we have developed a more structured approach to this, and this will be driven at the various learning teams by heads of learning and the team leaders. All programs in primary, except for HIFZ, will be required to create 3 digital content per year level each semester. For secondary and HIFZ students, they will be creating 1 digital content per each unit of work at every year level. Here at the digital learning team, we want to share the best practices of what is happening in our learning areas. Recently, Mufti Azim shared with staff that the college will be embarking on integrating Islam in our curriculum. Being an Islamic school, it is essential that we expose our students to lessons from the Quran, Hadith, for a more holistic learning experience. Today, we have a digital content created by our head of English in secondary, Mr. Mohammed Azim. In this video, he shares with us on how Islamic content can be integrated in English. Let's have a look.
Assalamualaikum everyone, and welcome to this revision session. I hope you will enjoy learning about a very important concept that a lot of students find difficulties with, and inshallah I'll try to make it as easy as possible. So it's all about simple, compound, complex, and compound complex sentences. Let's start. Let's talk about simple sentences first. The definition. A simple sentence is a sentence that is made up of one independent clause. The important thing here to note is the independent clause. Independent clause simply means that it is just one idea in that sentence. And an independent clause will have a subject and a verb, and just one idea. Just remember that it has got one complete idea, and that gives you the simple sentence. Now, let's look at some examples. The first one, a kind word is a form of charity. That's from our beloved Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. A kind word is a form of charity. There's just one idea, right? A kind word, and you'll see is here. Is denoting the verb, right? That's an auxiliary verb. So a kind word is a form of charity. That's only one idea. So that's a simple sentence. Moving further, right? So if you have, like I said, simple sentence, it will have one independent clause. A few examples. Moving further. Now here, people will come and go, but Allah will remain forever. Now look at the first part. People will come and go, okay? But then there is this conjunction, but. So this is one idea. People will come and go. That's one. So that's an independent clause. And Allah will remain forever. That's another independent clause. And you have the conjunction there. So how many ideas? That's one, two. Two ideas connected by a conjunction. So that means it's a compound sentence. Right? So one independent plus a coordinating conjunction plus independent clause will give you the compound sentence. Another independent clause. So again, two independent clauses, one dependent clause makes it compound complex construction. This is from a hadith from both Bukhari and Muslim. There is such an hour on Friday that if any Muslim makes dua in it, his dua will definitely be accepted. So let's find there is such an hour on Friday that if any Muslim makes dua in it, his dua will definitely be accepted. So there is such an hour on Friday, that's independent clause. Then you have another one, his dua will definitely be accepted. So that bit is independent, that bit is independent. But now sandwich in between is a dependent clause. If any Muslim makes dua in it, what will happen? So two independent clauses and a dependent clause, which will give you a compound complex construction. So now what you have to do, please stop this video, go back and check your understanding with the worksheet that has been prepared for you. Till then, fi amanallah, assalamu alaikum.
Thank you for the great video, Mr. Muhammad Azim, and for exemplifying how we can embed Islamic content in our lessons. As you can see from the video, the teacher is able to maintain the content of the lesson. However, he used Islamic examples and text to deliver his content. Mr. Muhammad Azim has created a lesson plan for this, and I believe will be a good resource for all teachers who are interested to explore this area. In regards to the digital content, here Mr. Muhammad Azim has adopted an instructional approach, where he uses teaching slides to explain his lessons. The slides are displayed on his iPad, where he uses the Apple Pencil to annotate and highlight the important content in the slide. There is also a thumbnail video of himself teaching, just to maintain the engagement with his students and also to put a face to the voice. This digital content was recorded in our studio and was done independently in 30 minutes. We strongly encourage teachers to make use of the fantastic facility that we have at our school to create your digital content. Next week, we will be sharing more digital content from another learning area in the school. If you recall, last week we shared how our secondary school students feel about in-house digital content. In our next segment, let's see what our primary school students think about digital content that's been created as part of their lessons.
Can you tell me about Miss Cheryl's video?
Cheryl's video was about terrorist relics and adventures they went to finding new things.
Okay.
So when Michelle and from England people came to Australia, they found blue ants that in England was small tiny ants.
I liked about it because it wasn't like in other countries or something. It was like in Terra Australia.
How many thumbs up would you give the video?
Or two.
Tonight is a very special night in Rio de Janeiro. All of the biggest and richest stars are on display wearing their most extravagant accessories.
So tell me about the video that you watched.
So we watched a video about Daphne Disney that he gets kidnapped and this video is mostly about all the characters in there as the different types of characters and different biographies of them. And
Tell me what you like about that video.
I really like the teacher's costume.
All at once. I used to love skating.
Your location. Let's go.
I like how there were so many different teachers in the play, and it was a really interesting story setting.
I also remember that Scarlett and Katerina Katz
She's worked incredibly hard to achieve the highest goal.
Don't tell me hard work and dedication does not pay.
Was being really suspicious about being kidnapped, making Gus and Disney kidnapped by them. So we all had our opinions of who might who kidnapped Mrs. Disney, and I liked all the characters basically because they were really fun and it was exciting to hear about them and figuring out what was going to come next.
It is great to see our primary school students enjoying the digital content created by our teachers. More importantly, they see that having digital content as part of their learning enhances their understanding of the lesson. Let's now move on to discuss our online platform, which is Google Classroom. Google Classroom is the backbone of our teaching and learning program. We, as teachers, upload our teaching resources to Google Classroom, and it also acts as our chronicle. As such, it is important that teachers ensure that their Google Classroom is updated as resources are visible to students, parents, and the school leaders. In our next segment, we have Mr. Izal Ismail speaking to a few students on how they use Google Classroom for their learning.
At Al Sirat College, the teachers have been using Google Classroom since 2020. The well-known platform has been the main source for students when they need resources. Let's hear about what they have to say about Google Classroom.
I say use it for posting learning materials and as revision to what the lesson covered during the day, as well as some vague instructions on what we have to do for classwork or homework.
My teachers use Google Classroom for homework and classwork.
To add learning resources and expectations, and if we have Zoom and online learning, we can access our Zoom links.
They use it to tell us what to do during the day or the term or the semester, to put our learning journeys there, and so we can check what we're going to do further in the semester so we can be prepared for it.
Our teachers, they post the learning journeys and the expectations for the lessons and usually for the terms as well.
I personally use Google Classroom to see what work I'm going to do today or later in the semester, and to see if I'm up to date with my work.
I use it to revise the tests or assignments that I have to do, and to give me a head start of what the teacher's going to tell me.
I use it for revision material and also just to get an idea for what we're going to be doing in the lesson.
I mostly use it for revising the class or whatever lessons we learnt that day, or for seeing what I need to do for homework or for classwork.
And it's helpful for us to learn in class.
As it provides an easy place to see what all the resources are and what the lesson plan is for the day or the term.
I use it for extra information. I think it's helpful, so when I get home I can revise.
I think it's good to know what we're going to do in advance so that you can study.
I think Google Classroom is helpful for your learning because it usually tells you if you have any overdue work or anything to do, any work to do that's overdue. That makes you more organized, and I guess so you can be prepared for future events.
It helps me to have a head start of what the teachers tell me to do and the homework, and it gives me some time to do it by myself, and if I don't get it, and the teacher can tell me.
Thanks for the video, Mr. Izal. As a school, we decided to use Google Classroom as our main learning platform, as it is student-focused and easily allows them to access their learning resources. They are able to refer to their learning resources at home when revising. Besides that, with Google Classroom, students are also able to catch up on their learning should they be away from school. We have now come to the end of this week's digital learning update. We hope that you're able to learn more about what's happening in our digital learning scene. and the rationale as to why decisions on digital content and Google Classrooms are made. More importantly, we hope to see more teachers create purposeful digital content and use our online platforms effectively. Thank you very much for watching. We will continue in our effort to reach every child in every class, every day. This is the Digital Learning Team signing off for today. Assalamu alaikum.